the revenue missed by the bottom line beat. After the closing balance, stock edged higher in the after-hours trade. One popular GTA grocery store chain is starting to take your temperature before you go in. TNT is making temperature checks mandatory for all staff and voluntary for customers at all its locations. Canadian dollar moving down to 70.7 cents U.S. This is 680 News.
The nurses and doctors who doubled their shifts. To those who surface in keeping us safe. Those who keep the lights on and the food coming. To all frontline and emergency workers, Subaru dealers salute you. In fact, while we continue to provide essential services to all Subaru customers, with everything to put you first, simply visit us online, because that's how we'll safely plan every appointment. From your Ontario Subaru dealers, let's all stay safe.
A message from the Lord.
Yeah, I had chicken and potatoes.
He said,
I ate it.
You protect your keys.
Another one.
Your keys. The father
These ones here, whatever these are.
Or drop them in any mailbox.
This one says wholehearted heaven. I don't remember which one I ate first.
For free. For your text next at 1
I don't know, it's just go macro bar. You figure it out. Best Buy, March 16, 2020. Best Buy.
Weather forecast you can bank on.
Whoever got the Bush's best sucre and introduced sweet and tangy baked beans. And you really thought they went bad? Because this is April 2020. You're
downtown Toronto, 4 degrees and overcast. It's also
2040.
and overcast at
There's that on it. That's what it means. Easy bottom.
Richmond Hill, 5 degrees and partly cloudy, and in Oshawa, 3 degrees, a few clouds. The News Watch never stops. The city news is CFTREM Toronto. Lucas Castellano is the editor. Joey Keeney is at the digital editor's desk. 680 News Time, 9 o'clock.
I'm going to put my sickle cell on.
For breaking news, traffic, and weather.
Pictures of your kids or pets or whatever. I want my doctor's note.
Here are Scott Burnett and Caitlin Lee.
Oh, just look at these tomato soup cheese.
Here's what's making news this hour. A couple from Oshawa were victims of one of Canada's worst massacres. RCMP say it's still to be determined just how many people were killed.
All of them.
Provincial health officials saying thanks to the actions of most Ontarians, the COVID-19 curve appears to be flattening, but it's
3
still a
baked
long
beans. This is
time
my
before
perfect
life
breakfast
can
because I
return
did
to
not
normal. Calling it good
steal.
news. Toronto's top doctor says physical distancing is working, but we must continue to protect our city's most vulnerable.
Celebrating cannabis culture from the comfort of your couch. Today is 420, and thanks to physical distancing,
Cannabis
the
culture
only
today is 420. Cannabis culture today is
Canadian soccer
420.
star Alphonso Davies will be staying with Bayern Munich for a little bit longer.
Close to the
Sports
bandanas.
15.
An OMG oil moment. Texas tea falls into negative territory. TSX manages to close out by 45 points. Wall Street sells off. Business at 26.
Time 9:01.
I only catch this thing with the church up there. I'm not going to see the Jamaican gospel.
Of Toronto,
I'm not
and
there.
there's quite a bit of construction coming in all across the major routes right now. If you're traveling the 400, we have a few spots where you're a couple of spots where you're being squeezed into a single lane. First of all, northbound 400, we have ramp closures. The major Mackenzie and Teston Road ramps to the north 400 are closed. And then north of King Road by the MTO scales, 2 right lanes are blocked for construction. So just the left lane passing through there, but looks okay in terms of the speeds. On the southbound 400, Highway 89, 2 left lanes closed there as well. Just the right lane open. Not having much of an impact on your drive, though, in terms of the speed there. We do have the Finch ramps to the southbound 400 also closed. And then 1 ramp closure so far on the 401. It's that long-term one. The northbound Allen ramp to the westbound 401 collectors is closed. So you can still use the ramp into the West 401 express lanes. But then just be aware, if you do that, you can't get off the highway again until the 400. That's your first chance to transfer over and then exit the highway. Some closures coming in on the 427 as well. The westbound Rathburn ramp to the southbound 427 is closed. And in this area, that Rathburn transfer into the collectors is also shut down. Off the highways, we have TTC track work going on Broadview between Gerrard and Danforth, so often on single-lane maintenance there. Mazda of Toronto is adapting to your needs. Right now, enjoy purchase from home solutions, payment deferral, and more. Visit Ontario's #1 Mazda volume dealer at MazdaofToronto.com. Your next report at 9:11, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
Increasing cloud this evening, and after midnight, closer to 3, 4 in the morning, we'll get into some light rain. It's going to be just a few millimeters worth, tapering off around 7, 8 in the morning. We'll see some sun. Temperatures likely peaking before that sun comes up. Around
I want to
6
see that
degrees,
doctor on
falling
a
to 2,
renminbi
wind
coin.
chill -4
I
through
got a
the afternoon.
renminbi coin that's worth
Gusty winds out
supposedly
of the northwest
$2
will
15
drive in on and
years
off lake
ago.
effect flurries through the day.
Renminbi are not worth
Tonight we're down to a
$2.
low of 3 degrees. Right now in downtown
Put the
Toronto,
fucking
it is
doctor
4
on a
degrees
coin.
and overcast at Pearson +3 with some clouds.
Oh,
680
you really want to
Houston,
piss off the
903.
Chinese? Print American and Canadian quarters,
among the dead in a
Filipino
shooting
fucking
spree in
pesos
northern Nova Scotia.
that say 1 renminbi.
People were murdered and the gunman also killed.
680's Karen Seola
And you
joins
can
us
make whatever
live
racist
with
joke
the
you want,
latest
put the
on
picture
this
on the
tragedy.
back.
Karen, Caitlin, Durham
If they're the
region
same
confirming
size, the
Dawn
same
and
weight,
Frank
you'd be
Matson
flooding
were
their
killed by
market
the gunman who at
money
one
that's not
point
real.
during the weekend attack was disguised as a police officer. The Matsons lived in Oshawa for many years before moving to Nova Scotia. Dawn worked for decades at Hillside Terraces long-term care home and retired last year. Nova Scotia's Justice Minister telling our sister station in Halifax it's still to be determined how the killer acquired a ballistic RCMP uniform and cruiser.
That's a discussion we will
Cruising
continue
by
with the
$2,000.
law enforcement community, with colleagues in
Legit
government.
X
As
Cruiser.
RCMP canvassed 16 different
Interceptor
crime scenes
package.
across
Ford
northern Nova
Crown
Scotia,
Victoria.
5 of which
4.6
involved
with
burned out buildings.
yeah, all the new
Chief
ones are
Superintendent
4.6
Chris
with the
Farber
first
expects
right?
to find more bodies.
We've been unable to fully examine the crime scenes because, for instance, we have had 5 structure fires.
Police say some of the dead were known to the killer, while others appear to have been targeted at random.
So they
Reporting
fucking stuck
live,
their head
I'm
out when they
Karen
shouldn't have.
Seolan.
Many families in mourning tonight. TV's Danny from City News spoke to an Alberta woman who lost 3 loved ones in the shooting on Sunday.
I just want their voices to be heard. I don't want them to be forgotten all this.
Jolene Oliver, Emily Tuck, and Aaron Tuck were found dead in their home yesterday.
We called all day yesterday trying to reach out to her to see if she was okay. And we checked with police and stuff. They wouldn't give us any information until after supper last night.
It was the sad reality for so many families, friends, and community members
Didn't this
last
happen
night who now
Saturday
had to
and then
cope
tell
with
us
losing a
about
loved
Sunday?
one, a grief
It's like the
complicated
single
by a
Parliament
global
Hill with
pandemic.
Nathan.
Among the dead, 2 healthcare workers. Heather O'Brien was a licensed practical nurse, wife, mother, and grandmother. Kristen Beaton was a continuing care assistant and a young wife and mother. Their
we
employer
had blood
describes
cell
them as
generator
caring
right
and
there.
compassionate
Yeah,
members of the team, writing all our frontline care providers are heroes.
Crunch up the
Yesterday,
ball.
2
Come
of those
animal,
heroes were
eh?
taken from their
I went,
families
"Rawr,
when
he
mourn their
too."
loss. For City News, I'm TDS Jenny. 680 News Time 9:05. Encouraging numbers from Ontario health officials. New projections suggest COVID-19 cases have peaked and the curve is beginning to flatten. So when can we loosen protective measures and restart the economy? 680's Mark Douglas finds out.
Premier Doug Ford refuses to put a timeline on restarting Ontario, saying COVID-19 could come back and, quote, bite us in the backside in about 10 seconds.
And I know people get anxious and rambunctious, but what, over waiting a few more weeks? I'd rather wait and be, and be safe.
Minister of Health Christine Elliott agrees, saying Ontarians must remain vigilant.
We are in the midst of a journey, and while we now have our destination in sight, we haven't yet arrived. No amount of easing up or taking shortcuts is going to get us there faster.
Ford says when the Ontario economy does restart, it will be done in stages, perhaps 2 weeks at a time. And
You got this very rational approach. They're doing it stages.
prioritized over the rest of the province.
Trucks and trades.
I'm Mark Douglas. And Deputy Premier and Health Minister Christine Elliott provided an update today on Ontario's COVID-19 testing situation.
There was a situation a week or so ago when we did have a backlog of cases. We had about 10,000 cases that people were still waiting for results, but we've dealt with that. And we have significantly increased the number of tests we're able to do. We went from 4,000 to 8,000. In a matter of a week, we're now doing around 9,000, moving up to 14,000 within the next week or so.
I had issues, but I don't. Okay, what does that mean?
Now receiving the results within 24 to
Whatever you
48
just
hours.
shoved in your pocket back on
Toronto's
the
Chief
table,
Medical
please.
Officer of Health says all of our physical distancing efforts are starting to pay off, but more needs to be done in long-term care homes. 680's Cam Doran has the latest from Mayor Tory and city health officials.
The work is far from done, but Dr. Eileen DeVilla says hospital visits are down and signs of community spread have started to peak.
The COVID-19 case doubling rate, which captures the number of days for our case counts to double, has slowed over the past 2 weeks. And this is good news.
But it is
what is that number?
Before it gets better in long-term care homes like Altamont.
Force us all to do that math.
Another 8 deaths have been reported since Friday. Mayor John Tory says
help
is on the way for our most vulnerable communities.
Close to 500 staff have already been redeployed into roles in our long-term care homes, our shelters, and helping, for example, to answer the phone and to answer emails at the 311 call center.
The mayor said plans to reopen the city will only start once the situation is completely under control. I'm Ken Doris.
The province says it plans on ramping up testing with enhanced measures for long-term care facilities. Ontario's Associate Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Barbara Yaffe, says results of the enhanced testing suggest the program should be more widely applied.
In addition,
white
we
people
have been
fuck
now
up chicken. I've never had a black person cook chicken and have it be bloody or pink or anything ever in my fucking
over the
life.
last few days, been testing about 21 long-term care facilities, testing every single person in those facilities.
Where'd I put the other one?
It is hoped that enhanced testing could provide new insights about the prevalence of the disease and the role of asymptomatic carriers of the virus.
Meanwhile, it's a nation in mourning following Canada's largest mass shooting in Nova Scotia. In Toronto, the CN Tower will be lit in blue and white tonight in memory of those who lost their lives.
In 30 seconds, we'll check on the price of the pumps.
680 News time, 909.
Royal colors.
680 News for what you need to know on
Royal
the
colors.
coronavirus.
Listen 3, 4, 5 times
Crip
a day
colors.
on your radio.
680news.com.
Radio
What?
Clear Canada app.
Or ask to play 680 News on your smart speaker.
For many of us, life as we know it has been put on pause. And while you've adapted your daily routine for the benefit of those around you,
You don't know that. I ain't changed nothing, dog.
at Toyota, we understand that for some, mobility is a necessity. That's why we're doing everything we can to keep Canada
How do you
moving
get paid
forward
Monday morning
while
and bum and
respecting
smoke
social
Monday
distancing
morning?
guidelines.
What the fuck?
To find out which priority services are available in your area, contact your local dealership.
With this.
Now,
I think it's not a
680
problem
gas
with my
price
plan,
update and Prosane price of gas. Not going to change at midnight, holding at 82.9 cents a liter at most GTA stations.
Not gonna change, 'cause we said it doesn't change
Traffic
on
and weather
Monday.
together on the ones. 680 News time, 910.
While you are hopefully staying safe and healthy, many of you are probably at home. Maybe use the time to spring clean, like that old car taking up space in your garage. When you donate your car to Cars for Kids, that old car lives on by giving kids a chance to succeed. You can donate online in the comfort of your home, and the pickup can be contact-free. You'll receive a tax credit. See for yourself how simple it is. Go to carsforkids.ca or call 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS now to donate. Remember, that's cars with a K.
New Life Fertility Center isn't going anywhere. We are doing our part by closing 6 of our locations and not taking on new patients. We're taking extraordinary measures to keep one location open so that we can continue to monitor.
I think we can officially mark the very last time a white person tried to rub shit in my face regarding rubbing shit in
New Life
food.
Fertility Center to be there, helping to ease the
That was
financial
my
burden of
fault.
IVF
Not
treatment. Until then,
Why are you
New
sticking
Life
your
wishes
fingers
you
in the
good
milk?
health. Stay
Why are you
safe.
sticking dirty things into the can to bend it up? What is wrong with
911
you? You're
traffic
spreading
and together on the ones
disease.
here is
Well,
Kyle.
this is how we do it here.
ATM
You
renovations.
don't work here.
Construction.
You don't have any
Construction
fucking
on
authority
highways
anyway.
right now. Lots of lane restrictions coming in. We're getting
No,
into that time
nobody
of year
works
again when the weather
there.
starts to warm up and it's more
Oh,
feasible
see.
to do a lot
Oh,
of this road work. And
nonprofit is
especially
the
with
biggest
the
industry in Canada.
lower
I know, nonprofit. How the
volume that
fuck
we've
you
been
have
seeing
profit
lately,
margins
it's
in a
also
nonprofit?
much easier to do this construction now. So we've got lane restrictions all over the place. Just some ramp closures. This is the most important part because none of our lane restrictions are causing any delays.
Slow
But
cooked
on
tomato
the
sauce
400, some
production
ramp
and spicy.
restrictions here. The major
Stupid
Mackenzie
shit
and
you put in
Tenston Road ramps to the northbound 400 closed. And then the
Knoxville,
Finch ramps to
Tennessee.
the southbound 400 are also off limits.
CA
We've
letters.
also got
Edwards.
lane
You want to know if
restrictions
I
on the
gave you dinner today?
427
Fuck
and
you.
some ramp restrictions here.
Still,
too.
SCA, please
Southbound,
recycle.
we've
Yeah,
got that
why do you
westbound
assholes keep
Rockford
throwing
ramp
all
to
your metal shit in the
727
garbage?
closed. And then
And
as
you
well,
call
the
me
transfer
dirty
into
and
the
nigger
collectors
for
in
fucking
this
cleaning
area
up your garbage.
off limits as
eh?
well.
Fuck you.
And then just one ramp closure on the 401.
It's
It's
old
that
dudes. They
long-term
turn into
closure, the
fucking pad.
northbound Allen ramp
They
to the
turn like
westbound
48
401
to turn
collectors
gay.
is closed, so you can't head into the collector
Either
lanes.
that or they've
You
been
can still take
pedophiles
the
all the
northbound
time.
Allen
One
ramp
or
to
the
the
other.
Wood
You want
401
to admit to
Express.
either
That's
one.
open, but if you take that, you can't get off the highway
They
again
start doing
until the
everything
400. That's
possible
your
to damage
next
everything
opportunity
around them.
because you're in the express lanes, then you have to transfer over, and then you have to get off. So it is a bit of a headache. Plumbing, electrical,
You know,
furnace,
syringes
water,
going
daily
to beer
problems in your home.
cans.
Call
Cigarette
ATM
butts going to
Renovations for an
glass
express
bottles.
service and safeguarded visit. Go to
Steel cans going to garbage. Garbage goes in the recycling
and with
bins.
the forecast, here's the
Compost
temperature
goes
inside.
wherever,
Overnight
I
tonight, a
guess.
few millimeters of
Fucking
rain as we drop
house
to
is
3
full of
degrees near
garbage.
midnight and then
My
peak
house
at
is full of
6
garbage.
degrees
It don't
early
smell
in
like
the morning.
garbage.
That temperature will be slowly falling throughout the day. We'll have wind chills in the afternoon near -4. So just for those colder temperatures, if you are an essential worker and have to head out. We will have on and off lake effect flurries thanks to very gusty northwest winds up to about 60
you people walking your
kilometers
dogs?
per
Why
hour.
are you all
Still some
walking
lake
on the
effect
main
snow
road?
Tuesday night into Wednesday morning.
People are coming
Trace
home
to a
with
centimeter
kids
or two,
everywhere.
not out
Why
of the
are
question
you
for
walking
places
your
like
dog on
Newmarket
the
and
main
Stouffville
road?
northwards.
It's 5 minutes to
Wednesday
walk
afternoon
your
will be
dog.
partly cloudy with a high
How
near
the
6.
fuck did you make
Tonight
it
we're
all the
down
way to the
below
main
3
road when I
degrees.
know you don't fucking live in
Right
this
now in
neighborhood?
downtown Toronto,
I
it is
know
4
you
degrees
don't
and
fucking live in
overcast.
this
3
neighborhood.
at
Your
Pearson.
dog is
And
looking
Park
at me because he
Place
smells me,
near
but he doesn't recognize me. I know you're not from this neighborhood.
Looking a little different than last year's 680
Why you on the main
The
fucking
internet
road?
is absolutely loving 420 at home, with the hashtag trending all across Canada this evening. And if you don't understand it, maybe famous Canadian and weed advocate Seth Rogen can explain why.
You know, it makes everything better. Makes food taste better. Makes music better. Makes sex feel better. For God's sake, it makes movies better. You know.
There has been a small explosion of 420 related videos. Listen to this one YouTuber who clearly knows what they're doing.
Hello, friends. In honor of 420, I'm going to show you how to roll the perfect blunt.
Normally today, people would be gathered at places like Yonge Dundas Square to pass around a doobie or three, but because of the pandemic, everyone is confined to their couches, likely
Gay snitches host that party every fucking year, right?
I'm Joey Keeney.
From 2010 onward, from 2009 onwards, they have not had the permit for Queen's Park.
Thanks to the incredible support of RBC,
They keep selling
on the heart
tables
of the
and shit.
economy and
Anyway.
small businesses. We'll travel across Canada, meet different owners, learn about
They
their
put up
trees,
these real
what's
official
happening
looking
since
notices saying no
2019,
dogs
and shut down our
allowed.
economy.
You can't say no dogs allowed. You don't have the permit for the park.
They want to put the future of healthcare in the patient's hands.
Hundreds of cops circling the park the whole time. Oh, yeah. But they don't tell anybody that they didn't get the permits. We don't realize that with the cops circling around.
Download Canada Matters wherever you get your podcasts. And thanks again to RBC for your support on Small Business Matters.
Here's the top 10 reasons to get 10 Timbits free. They're fun, awesome, tasty, shareable, delicious, snackable, creamable.
Anybody just one of these jumpsuits writes a bunch of stupid political slogans on it?
Also, when qualifying purchases of $10 before taxes at participating restaurants for a limited time, not valid for delivery or
Turns out to be a snitch writing a book.
This is all news radio.
I earned 2 of these. That pussy hole only got 1.
Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Scott.
I earned 2. I only possess 1, but 2 of these are mine, plus 3 sets of clothes they fucking stole on me.
Identified as 2 of the 18 victims killed this weekend in Nova Scotia. A statement.
Somebody throw the clothes right there. No, don't talk about what I wear, baby.
Senseless acts of violence, but we hope these communities.
If you're paying attention to what I'm wearing, tell me what to wear, you're a homo.
Despite 606 new cases of COVID-19 confirmed today in Ontario, provincial health officials believe the curve is flattening thanks to your actions. But Premier Ford warns it could still be a very long time until it's business as usual.
For the first time ever, oil prices go below zero, dropping a whopping 300%
that hustle type of dude. Give up on a guy because he's
no, that doesn't mean you get paid to fill up gas prices.
Try rolling him into the crew.
For these stories and more,
Cannot get the guy to fit in.
Now 680 Sports and the Sports at 59 The Fan.
Give the guy a cigarette. Later he'll give you one. No, he doesn't know how to share, man. He doesn't know how to share. No, he's going to be part of the crew. No, he doesn't know how to share.
Alfonso Davies to a 2-year extension that sees his contract run through the summer of 2025. The 19-year-old was signed by Bayern from Vancouver in the summer of 2018. A $22 million transfer deal, which was an MLS record at the time. The NFL held a month draft to prepare for Thursday's real thing, and after a few early hiccups, Denver Broncos president of football operations John Elway said things went smoothly. Meantime, ESPN's Adam Schefter reports that the San Francisco 49ers are entertaining trading their first-round picks, number 13 and number 31 overall. And men's world number 1 tennis player Novak Djokovic admitting in a Facebook live chat on Sunday that he is opposed to a compulsory vaccination if that's what it would take for pro tennis to resume this year.
If you're against, there is no fucking vaccination,
every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590. 680 is time,
If you
9:17.
force vaccinations on sports players,
I'm craft beer
you're
and
basically
sensory
admitting
expert
you're not the
Miranda
best.
Amato.
And I'm chef activist Joshua
A lot of people won't get the
Podcast
vaccine
Network presents
because it'll kill them. Oh yeah, being injected with formaldehyde will kill you. It will embalm you while you're alive. Being injected with mercury,
We'll aim to help you
the number is depends how many times, because that shit never comes out of your system. It goes through your kidneys, over the hole, reads the video, makes the video. Mercury goes through your kidneys, through everything, over and over and over, destroying you.
We all have a story to tell.
Doesn't
I was
come up.
13 years old when I first heard the word cancer.
Being diagnosed with colon cancer was an overwhelming shock. I'm Eric McCormack.
Mercury from vaccine, mercury from anywhere, doesn't matter where it comes from. It's guaranteed to cause you fucking liver failure, kidney failure, cancer, all that shit.
The Canadian Cancer Society to learn more about the groundbreaking research that translates into life-saving treatments. Visit standuptocancer.ca.
You want to torture somebody to death as long as possible? Give them a little bit of mercury every few months, a year, over a long period of time. How's your immunization record? Up to date, quote unquote, up to date. Are they quote unquote up to date?
He was asked what his message is to
Have you received as much mercury as they want you to have for your birthday?
Clearly, this is something, but unless we get the virus under control, the real recovery economically is not going to happen.
The U.S. has by far the most known coronavirus infections and fatalities in the world. The confirmed death toll, now more than 40,000.
If you jump the gun and go to a situation where you have a big speed spike, you're going to set yourself back.
Facebook says it's removing promotions for
Reported by
protests against stay-at-home orders.
Unilever.ca.
CNN reporting that applies to
delicious
events
snack.
that violate those stay-at-home orders in
Best
certain
before
states like
day,
California and New Jersey.
2020-0204.
But the company is reaching out to other states and may expand that
Doesn't
ban.
go back.
For City News,
There's
I'm
literally
Melissa
nothing
Duggan.
in it that
Major
can't
League
go back.
Baseball teams are getting set to
You know
dump
what?
thousands of non-playing staff members. As soon as May 1st, Major League
But
teams
it doesn't
get
say
laid off or cut
not
the
labeled
pay
for
of
individual sale. Like
players.
it's
This
a
thanks
meant
to a
for
move made
individual
Monday
sale.
by
You might
Commissioner
put a
Rob
price on
Manfred.
it, put a dollar
Permanent
sign on that
personnel
fucking
includes
fucking.
general managers,
Or
major and
cent
minor
sign.
league field managers,
More
coaches, trainers, and full-time scouts. All in
You
all,
get a buck
about
for a piece
9,000
of
employees.
at night.
Manfred blames the potential
Let's
downsizing
stand
on
up
the
front of the
inability
Hasty
to
Market.
play
Look at these
games
prices
because
on
of
that
the
line.
national emergency caused by the pandemic. I'm Bruce Morton. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic
I'm gonna bring
and
a
your
case of Mr.
extended
Noodle's
forecast.
next door. Insist I
Everyone's
bought it from
favorite
there.
singing competition is going virtual.
$2.24 a piece, man. It's 24 a case.
Personnel and volunteers
$48
who are working
if I return
tirelessly
it.
to provide essential services to the
Why are you charging
vulnerable
$2.26
during
for fucking Mr.
As
Noodles?
this pandemic continues to impact our
How
communities
hungry you gotta
across
be
the
to buy
nation,
that shit on
the
purpose, or in
Salvation
my
Army
case,
is
sick?
adjusting
I
its
crave.
programs
I
and
literally
services
crave the
to bring
everything
help and
when
hope
I'm
to
sick.
those who need it most. Join us and
You
support our
assholes.
neighbors in need. To donate, visit salvationarmy.ca.
Well, I don't want to turn my head back, but the thing is, if I go out there, I'm gonna have to.
How much money would you like to save? Just by doing something
Yeah,
you're
they're
already
touching my
doing.
hair more if I go.
Taking that 25%. How about 30%? With all state safe drivers can
Oh, I
save
know, some
30%
close to
just
the
by
thing.
doing something they're already doing. I didn't say it. That's right, 30% just by
See how scrawny I am on all them fucking clothes? You said there's no fat on any of that?
For a quote today and see just how much you can
Gives
save
me a
when you
tinge,
drive
eh?
safe with Allstate.
Search Save 30% with Allstate for more information. Terms and conditions apply.
The time is 9:21. That means it's time for traffic and weather together on the ones. First up, let's hit the traffic center, our very own Kyle Hawking. This report brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. As far as the speeds go along your drive, not bad, but you may have to hop out of the lane that you're in at some point because we've got lots of lane restrictions across the city right now. A couple of spots in the 400 where you're squeezed into just one lane. First of all, if you're on the North 400, there are lane restrictions, or pardon me, ramp restrictions here, as well as lane restrictions. The Major Mackenzie and Teston Road ramps to the North 400 are closed. And then at the MTO scales that are north of King Road in this area, 2 right lanes are blocked for construction, so just the left lane open. And it's the reverse on the southbound 400. And Highway 89, 2 left lanes are closed.
Lung
so just the
cancer
right
won't live
lanes
long
open
enough.
there.
Heart disease won't live long enough. Emphysema, we already got.
Closed for
So many
ongoing
things wrong
construction
with
here
my
for the overnight.
And
As
may
well,
complicate
just one
pregnancy.
little
Good.
ramp restriction on the 401. It's northbound Allen ramp to the westbound 401 collectors closed because of maintenance work there. So you can still take the northbound Allen ramp and join the West 401.
Made on Mohawk
Your
territory.
next chance to get off the highway, though, is not until the 400. And then we have ramp restriction and transfer closure on the South 427. The westbound Rathburn ramp to the South 427 is closed, and then we've got the transfer into the collectors at Rathburn also shut down, and that's again for all maintenance work. St. Louis Bar and Grill thanks you for supporting local businesses, including your local St. Louis restaurant through takeout and delivery. Their deepest gratitude goes to the first responders keeping us all safe. Your next report at 9:31, and with the extended forecast, here's Natasha Ramsahai.
We've got light rain incoming after midnight tonight. It's only a couple of millimeters worth. Could see a thunderstorm or two, though, down around the Niagara Peninsula. And we'll have some sun to start off in the morning. 6 degrees to start, falling to 2, wind chill -4. And with that drop in temperature and gusty northwest winds on and off lake effect, wet flurries will be in place tomorrow. Yeah, we're not done with the flurries just yet. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, could even see trace to a centimeter of accumulation across the North GTA. Wednesday afternoon is partly cloudy with a high of 6, and we end off the week Thursday and Friday with sunshine, but still below seasonal. 6 degrees Thursday, 9 degrees on Friday. Through the night tonight, we're down to a low of 3 degrees.
Me right there.
Right now in downtown Toronto, we've got an overcast.
This at 2.
At Pearson Airport, overcast and 3.
You got somebody about 6'2".
At 9:30, a couple who once lived in Oshawa are being remembered alongside the 16
we'll glue the bad man
this
to a
week in Nova
mask.
Scotia, the deadliest mass shooting in our country's history. Meantime, we will be bringing you all the latest news on COVID-19 as city and provincial health officials report some cautious optimism today. Details straight ahead. 680 News Time, 9:24.
The third one and the fourth one will really fucking so good.
Who knows how long? Let's take stock. TV, check. Snacks, yep. Capital, you better believe it. What about a con artist, a food scientist, a walrus whisperer, and one of the biggest documentaries?
All right, you know what here. All right. Okay. We need weather, and I want to hear some French. Damn it. Well, that's not gonna work. That's classical. Actually, maybe I can put it on quietly. I don't know where those came from. Oh, I know where I got them from. I don't know where they came from. Okay, what do I need that I do not possess? These are going to become joints, right? What am I doing here? One thing fucking thing. I need to hear the weather.
Que j'aime cette sonate de Prokofiev. Nous entendons pour violon et piano, opus 94 bis de Prokofiev, parce qu'il y a aussi la version avec flûte. C'était le violoniste Tobias Feldman et Boris Kuznetsov au piano. Il y a de la tendresse, il y a tout là-dedans, de la tendresse, de la colère, de l'amour, de la nostalgie, de l'énergie. La prochaine fois, je vous ferai entendre la première version de cette même sonate avec le flûtiste Emmanuel Pahu et Stéphane Kovacevic au piano. Pourquoi pas, Guylaine, hein? Ici Marie-Christine Trottier, vous écoutez toute une musique sur Ici Musique et sur Ici Musique classique. On va écouter maintenant les 3 romances pour alto, cordes et harpe d'Aïrat Ishmuratov qui ont été écrites en 2009 comme cadeau d'anniversaire pour Eleonora Turovsky qui nous quitte.
2009 means new recording. I'm gonna get a fucking claim or something. Look at that color. Look at that color. I don't even know what that's called. It's not yellow. It's not red. Is it amber or something?
Welcome to Environment Canada's Weather Service. Bienvenue au service météorologique d'Environnement Canada. For service in English, press 1. Pour le service en français, faites le 2. For the city of Toronto, press 1. For York, Durham, press 2. For Dufferin, Innisfil.
The fuck is that? Dufferin's right here.
For the forecast for the next
1. For the hourly observation, press 2.
The Environment Canada forecast issued at 3:30 p.m. Monday, April 20th for tonight, Tuesday, and Tuesday night. City of Toronto for tonight, increasing cloudiness. Showers beginning overnight. Wind southeast 20 kilometers per hour, gusting to 40, becoming light this evening. Wind becoming northwest 30, gusting to 50 before morning. Low +1. For Tuesday, flurries ending near noon, then mainly cloudy with 40% chance of flurries. Wind northwest 40 kilometers per hour, gusting to 60. High +3, UV index 5 or moderate. For Tuesday night, partly cloudy, 30% chance of flurries in the evening and after midnight. Wind northwest 40 kilometers per hour, gusting to 60. Low -3, wind chill -10 overnight. Extended forecast Wednesday, a mix of sun and cloud. High 6.
Rizla,
Wednesday
there's no
night,
glue on this fucking
period.
paper.
Low -3. For Thursday, sunny. High 8. For Thursday night, clear. Low -2. For Friday, sunny. High 8. For Friday night, clear.
There's no glue
Low
on this paper.
+1. For
There's
Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud. High 11. For Saturday night, cloudy with 60% chance of showers. Low
Do you know how much that would have
+5.
frustrated
For
me?
Sunday, cloudy with 60% chance of showers. High 9. Normals for the period, low +4, high 13.
For the forecast for the next 7 days, press 1. For the hourly
I
observation,
could have saved that.
press 2. For air quality health information, press 3.
They don't
For
include
information
phone
on our
numbers.
services, press 8. To contact us, press 9.
Really?
And to return to the previous menu at any time, press the start key.
Oh. Astérix, Astérix, où est toi?
For the City of Toronto, incorrect key. For the City of Toronto, incorrect key.
No, that's the Astérix.
Thank you for consulting the Environment Canada Weather Service.
Well, fuck you too. I keep saying I can't do certain things in French because they switched me from French to English. Detailed weather reports. Now, oddly enough, they taught us how to use weather stations. But detailed weather reports are one of those things that always default to English. Oh, yeah, the bank machine too. I know. But I still always press the fucking English button.
Welcome to Environment Canada's Weather Service. Bienvenue au service météorologique d'Environnement Canada. For service in English, press 1. Pour le service en français, faites le 2.
So we made it to 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Pour la ville de Toronto, faites le 1.
Pour la prévision publique pour les 7 prochains jours, faites le 1. Pour les observations horaires, faites le 2.
Prévision émise par Environnement Canada à 15h30 le lundi 20 avril pour ce soir, cette nuit, mardi et la nuit suivante. Ville de Toronto pour ce soir et cette nuit, ennuagement. Averse débutant au cours de la nuit. Vent du sud-est de 20 km/h avec rafale à 40, devenant faible ce soir. Vent devenant du nord-ouest à 30 avec rafale à 50 en fin de nuit. Minimum +1. Pour mardi, averse de neige cessant à midi. Plutôt nuageux par la suite avec 40% de probabilité d'averse de neige. Vent du nord-ouest de 40 km/h avec rafale à 60, maximum +3. L'indice ultraviolet de 5 ou modéré. Mardi soir, partiellement nuageux. 30% de probabilité d'averse de neige en soirée et après minuit. Vent du nord-ouest de 40 km à l'heure avec rafale à 60, minimum moins 3, refroidissement éolien moins 10 au cours de la nuit. Prévision à long terme pour mercredi, alternance de soleil et de nuages. Maximum 6, mercredi soir, passage nuageux. Minimum moins 3 pour jeudi, ensoleillé. Maximum 8, jeudi soir, dégagé. Minimum moins 2 pour vendredi, ensoleillé. Maximum 8, vendredi soir, dégagé. Minimum plus 1 pour samedi, alternance de soleil et de nuages. Maximum 11, samedi soir, nuageux avec 60% de probabilité d'averse. Minimum plus 5 pour dimanche, nuageux avec 60% de probabilité d'averse. Maximum 9, normal pour la période. Minimum plus 4, maximum 13.
Pour la prévision publique pour les 7 prochains jours, faites le 1. Pour les observations horaires, faites le 2.
Oh.
Pour l'information.
So if he wastes his time, he ends up in...
À 21h, Toronto, aéroport international Pearson, généralement nuageux, la température plus 3, l'humidité relative 80%, le vent du sud-sud-est à 17, avec rafale à 33 km à l'heure, la pression barométrique 100,3 kPa et à la baisse. Toronto, en ville, la température 5, l'humidité relative
Ça, ce n'est pas kilopascal, ça c'est
la pression barométrique 100,4 kPa et à la baisse. L'aéroport de Toronto centre-ville, nuageux, la température plus 4, l'humidité relative 80%, le vent de l'est à 11 km à l'heure, la pression barométrique 100,3 kPa.
Pour la prévision publique pour les 7 prochains jours, faites le 1. Pour les observations horaires, faites le 2. Pour l'information sur la cote Air Santé, faites le 3. Pour l'information sur nos services, faites le 8. Pour nous rejoindre, faites le 9.
No, I don't know.
Prévision de qualité de l'air selon la cote Air Santé pour Toronto, centre-ville. De Toronto, Toronto, nord. Toronto, est Toronto, ouest. Ce soir et cette nuit, cote Air Santé maximale, risque faible ou 3. Mardi, cote Air Santé maximale, risque faible ou 2. Pour la prévision.
When they calculate those numbers, they exclude Toronto from the numbers when they add, so I don't know what that's supposed to mean. The Air Quality Health Index, the AQHI, is 3, okay, but it doesn't include Toronto, so it could be 5, 10.
Pour nous rejoindre, faites le 9. Pour retourner au menu précédent, en tout temps, faites étoiles.
9, chien. Go, 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 go.
Mauvaise touche. Pour
Mauvaise touche, ne n'accuse pas moi, monsieur. Mauvaise touche, ouais. Oh. Mon Dieu. Tu avais écouté ça? Oh. Bad touch. Mauvaise touche. Bad touch. Whoa. That's an interesting choice of words. Bad touch. This paper has no glue. None. No glue. I want to save that. Because it's a pre-1944 rolling paper. 42, some shit. Well, yeah, World War II, 44, some shit. Supposedly they invented the fucking gummed rolling paper. Alright, let's keep working on this French bullshit. Why are you creaking? No speed dial on these, eh? No speed dial. There is. There's a directory. It's the new version of speed dial. This service really needs a better piece of equipment, Mr. Tory.
Hello, and welcome. If you wish to hear a story for younger children, press 1. If you wish to hear a story for older children, press 2. Otherwise, hold for a story for younger children.
It's in English. What did I do?
If you wish to hear...
Oh. What's this do? Okay, that's weird. We're just going to press the buttons manually and get rid of all these pauses because they don't fucking work. Well, they would, but I can't put enough of them in there. Try this again.
Hello, and welcome to Toronto Public Library's Style Story. Please listen carefully as the instructions have changed.
Okay.
If you wish to hear a story in English, press 1. In French, press 2. In Cantonese, press 3. In Gujarati, press 4.
Hey, you know the phone line doesn't have any connection at all to the internet, so me using the phone shouldn't be causing the video to do what it's doing.
If you wish to hear a story for younger children, press 1. If you wish to hear a story for older children, press 2.
En anglais, en français. Pourquoi en anglais?
Bonjour, je m'appelle Marilyn Pullinger et je vais te raconter un conte folklorique qui vient du Zaïre. Et le conte est intitulé La poule et l'épervier. La poule et l'épervier étaient autrefois de grands amis. Ils mangeaient et baisaient toujours ensemble.
This is horrible.
Ils ne se quittaient jamais. Un jour, la poule vient demander un service à son ami.
I can't follow what she's saying at all. I can't follow what she's saying at all. It sounds like a fucking cassette player, but you know it's not. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. There's like an analog to analog fucking thing going on there.
Sabes que somos los duros.
I'll feel better tonight. Don't feel bad. I'm not sick, I'm not in pain, I'm not hungry. I'm alright.
Motherfucking daddy, nigga. Oh yeah. I just took a flash of booty down before I wrote this shit so I can better exhibit to niggas with copies. You niggas is miserable and hopeless. I don't fuck with you jokers. You look in my eyes so you can tell that I'm focused.
Oh, in a straight line, I got about 1,000 feet range.
7 ounces on the choker, hypnosis, jacuzzi, water, soap. Lock. Beat you like a pinata. My niggas shooters not the type to put the fire to the chop. On the run from La Jara, La Mono, La Poli, the Hueco, the Pigger, the Pole, the Mina, the one time trying to lock me for dumb crime. Show up at the bar where I unwind. Nigga play their gun, reflecting the sunshine. Happy to this life, it ain't for the buttercup. Open up a little boutique and they assume it's a cover up. Naturally, half-fashionally. Toss a couple drops of water in the work and watch it define gravity. Bougie women call me your majesty. Accurately slap the key and have it bring the pack with me on the trap and scream sauce. When I used to shit my juniors, niggas would laugh at me. Now they watching son dancing like Buzz Cassidy. I'm on top of the game. Feed a shorty couple dunkers and watch her hop on the plane. Feel the cool breeze that come before the tropical rain. Make sure the shoulder drop it in the flame and then I chop it for change.
Chop it for change.
Come on, come break your heart. Yeah, these niggas is mad they couldn't make a spark. Couldn't believe a little guppy ate the shark. Unexpected, come on, and break your heart. snatch, mad, they couldn't make us fall. Couldn't believe it, the little guppy ate the shark. I had to laugh at niggas. I hate to use the N-word. Cool dope for hope, cause I've been broke. We chopping up the coke. We got the block rocking like the boat. They locked and we chopping like the soap. The fiends be on the float. And if a nigga dead, so grab the rope. We jump real high, suicide. The left is how the homies ride. No time for phony lies. Lies be like genocide. A renegade. Lemons to lemonade. Forgive me for my sinning. Drug dealing, fly letters, Latin women. Medellin, this is Ochoa's return. Will these fuck boys ever learn? It forever be my turn. Stack chips, never let it burn. Slicker than your wig on a perm. They could never see the God. Yeah, I break bread, but see the God. The feds see me how I feed the squad. I got that beam from the Japanese. My French girl waved, you reminded me of mac and cheese. It is what it has to be. I'm killing out who's after me. They have to see me rich, and I swear it wasn't financially. Like who we frontin' for? They flying like there's a chaplain. These bitches couldn't marry a guy. There was a Magdalene. My shot like a little bro, a tagalog. It's these instrumentals we got the dragon on. It's rose with beer broke class riches we dragon on. The nigga with the gate and Sega was double dragon on. The Megatron landing in Lebanon. He was slapping it back and forth like a tetherball. Used to live on French Street, right in the Esplanade. Bitches wanna ship and make us film it like espionage. You know that's why they set for it. Like why you niggas say protect your neck for it? Chopping in shifts till we win. Like connect for the cylinder, always a spin. I connect for it, right into your dome when I get it out of the chest to draw rapper. When you go on tour, it's all music. Maybe when we go on tour, it's all shootings. Like other chefs got kicked, I gotta shoot it. Nigga, if you talk that talk, you gotta do it. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last of a down bread. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last of a down bread. Like he just wanna go on tour and make music. But every time you go on tours, it's all shootings. I'm the last of a dying breed. I uppercut these fucks in the chin and they die with ease. I bleed what I have to bleed. This blood's what I have to see. Fuck Vic or sit with your fam. I call it Applebee's. Who the fuck trying to get stuck? Tell them ask for me. That match pack about to get struck. I brought the gasoline. I've never lost. I got OGs to get it back for me. Calm me down. Calm with the crowd. Call me your majesty, God. They try to handle me, Lord. No, I'll play that. The bullets in that gray Mac A-track. They go way back. About them up. Top your mark. Look where the safe at. Put numbers on your head. You already covered in face tats, boy. Why they always trying to snake that, boy? Charlie got the defibrillator to shake that, boy. Forget about it. You turn me to Rocky ASAP, boy. I'm the last of a dying breed. They wanna break that, boy. Like, you bringing all that beef to the farm. My man's branded you. If you don't get respect in the streets, I can't stand with you. They tell you a threat on the beat. Your man's scamming you. The bench is like a beast when it spins. Crash Bandicoot. Pull up with a camera crew. Cannons in your face now. Anybody that's lying to us is lying face down. White boy, nice with a pen. This ain't no 8 mile. We playing hopscotch in the spots where the body's traced out. Cause when you go on tour, it's all music. And baby, when we go on tour, it's just shootings. Drive-bys, your eyes wide shut, we gone Kubrick. So we ain't really battle that talk, we just do shit. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last of a down bread. Why they try me? I wear my heart on my iron sleeve. I'm the last of a down bread. Like you just wanna go on tour and make music. The last of a down bread. And every time you go on tours, it's all shootings. The last of a downgrade.
Yeah. You bitch made niggas. Yeah. Fuck's wrong with you? You bitch made niggas. Try to tell you about me. I ain't fucking with no bitch made niggas. No gun. Then I probably got a switchblade nigga. As days go by, you see a man change nigga. Pull him out, let him go. Cause he ain't the same nigga. Yo, me. I ain't fucking with no bitch made niggas. No gun. Then I probably have a
Hello. This call is from the Tax Department of Canada Revenue Agency.
It's not.
The reason behind this call is that there is a case.
Yeah. Elizabeth here. I'm gonna let my truck bang.
Bang like a bus tank. Let my nuts hang while I'm hustling. Ain't in the dope game, but I rap slang. Addicted like cocaine when I drop flames. Let the trunk bang like a bus bang. Let my nuts hang while I'm hustling. Ain't in the dope game, but I rap slang. Addicted like cocaine when I drop flames. Authentic, you can call it homemade. Got bars on me like my phone got paid. Drinking and driving, serving all different ways. My mind stays stuck in the same ass maze. Maybe I should write this, or maybe I should write that. No, I don't like this, and no, I don't like that. I want you to feel the shit more than these hi-hats. When it kills the shit, I don't want to hear my rhymes whack. I don't beat around the bush, I beat around the block. I ain't even know you push sucking on the cock. I won't even go to push to make it to the top. High off that cushion at the bottom of the rock. Dreams are far-fetched, but I'ma go catch it. You ain't seen cards yet, this is just a message. I'm bringing that hard shit, the blows like a weapon. Packing some arsenic in case I put the trunk bang like a bus hangs. Let my nuts hang while I'm hustling. Ain't in the dope game, but I rap slang. Addicted like cocaine when I drop flames. Let the trunk bang like a bus bangs. Let my nuts hang while I'm hustling. Ain't in the dope game, but I rap slang. Addicted like cocaine when I drop flames. In my golden place. These words are shots that you take with no chase. Life without me is like a song without bass. Done killed the beat, now I caught a murder case. Switch up my motives just to be personality. Got my mind on the dream to become a reality. Mortal Kombat, turn it back to fatality. You can tell me shit in like it's coming with the be respected and have everyone in fear. I have the dope fit and I can see it real clear. You can call my shit mystical, me right here. So ahead of my time, I'm past like years. Let the joint bang like I'm hustling. Let my nuts hang while I'm hustling. Ain't in the dope game, but I rap slang. Addicted like cocaine when I drop flames. Let the trunk bang like a bus bang. Let my nuts hang while I'm hustling. Ain't in the dope game, but I rap slang. Addicted like cocaine when I drop flames.
That's the part of the animal I would eat to try to put on fat, but I don't have any. Spider webs.
It's all now. Committing murders in life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lies in your life. All the buck ass kids in the trap painting skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bill. It's all now. Committing murders in life. All the fakes perpetrating, living living lives in your life. All the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the guns, so make sure you die for the bills.
I run at you like a maniac with a pencil. Fuck the trigger finger, because killing you simple. A psychopath going through a brain relapse. Somebody better hold him down because he's about to attack. They tell me to relax, to stop and take a breath. But the only way I'll get better is by witnessing your death. You can't stop me, motherfucker, from getting to you. Ain't got no armor on my chest, but I'll still get through your crew. These drugs they have me on aren't affecting my brain, but the anger that I'm feeling is causing me pain. I'm coming for you, and there is nowhere to run. And when we meet face to face, you know it won't be no fun. Your end is coming near. Can't you feel this close? Even if I die before you, you'll still be harassed by my ghost. I'll get you any way I can, whether you wake or asleep. Just wanna see you die before I'm fucking dead in the streets.
It's on now. You made a murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lives in your life. All the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bills. It's on now. You made a murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lives in your life. All the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the guns, we'll make sure you die for the bills.
I don't snatch chains like open throats. I don't steal trailers, I steal bones. I don't write tracks like no one knows. Construct some heat shit and call it a phone. Raw, dirty filth, call me Rome. With the silencer pointed at your dome. Offering you the last fall home. One of the sickens, clapping at chickens till the bitch stops flicking. Toss it aside, grab the next seat about my ride. Always down for homicide when the two collide. I got enough to provide for all the haters that duck and hide. The quickest on the slide, so make sure your brakes tied and stay inside. A bullet hitting your temple, plus the battery should be elemental. Soothes me, keeps me gentle, not consumed by thinking of ways to fuck up your dental. Record over an instrumental.
It's on now. You made a murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lives in your life. All the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bills. It's on now. You made a murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lives in your life. All the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bills. I'm a rapist with word skills with diligent words. Hate shame when they come choose a figure. They short, perfected linguists with demonic linguistics. Leave a pentagram life and I don't really give a shit. So cynically simple, ask forgiveness for beef. But ain't nobody giving two shits about my state of being. I pepper shots from drive-bys on a Catholic school. Hear the screams and boom blasts from the picks of my tools. No escaping a hearty grip from the frozen heart of my chest. I like a step and stat, next in the short of a sec. You push me, I push beyond the limits of pushing back. Veteran cat, desensitized with the beams in the stand. World's falling apart, ain't no one here to help you stand. We all victims of the compensation from the sins of man. It's getting worse, here comes the end from the start. Figure your way out or come and join me up in the dark. It's on now, you made a murder of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lives in your life. All the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bills. It's on now, we committed murders of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lives in your life. All the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bills. It's on now, we committed murders of life. All the fakes perpetrating, living lives in your life. All the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the gun and we'll make sure you die for the bills.
Like the shoes,
now, we committed murders of life. For all your fakes perpetrating, living lives in your life. For all the ass kids in the trap in the skill. Live by the guns, so make sure you die for the bills.
Oh, this shit changes too. That's not static. That changes with time. Oh, that's better than any tattoo you can buy. Better than any tattoo you could pay for. That shit changes. Let him write that down on my fucking C-pick. Take pictures of it and it won't match later. That's good. That's good, Bradley. That's good.
Young Blockers by BB. Let's see. Niggas really talking like it's sick. See me on the strip, they ain't walking with a stick. Hit him in the rib, now we living in the dirt. Stupid guessy bitch, yeah, she moving like she's sick. Nigga double M, yeah, she called her on the shit. Drop the Addy dome, bitch, still didn't fly to you. Sip, Peel Street, bitch, she would fly you. You watch your man get done in, try to line me. Hit me with a hammer, shit back, grimy. You a lying bitch, you a thought, you slimy. All the lies you saying, we ain't buying. Talking about he was in my arms, I was crying. You a stupid goof, you were in stations. Talking to the cops now, bitch, you were basic. Fly high, Dustin, now he's a skeleton. Simple tried to kill me now, bitch, he's a gas man. He was in your basement, smoking that crack on all their heads. It's your turn at villain. Everybody's gonna get me, bitch, are you illin'? If you come to reach your part, nigga, you be missing. toss him in the river. He's swimming with the fishes. Should've shut your mouth. You're part of this.
This man, it's all darkness. Normal pigment hair. Patches,
money. All for the links, all for the club. You should've took another route.
Look at the shoes, eh? I think I washed off the shoes.
It's on to Britney.
One of Vietcong are tricky, but I don't think they did that at the factory, bro. I don't know.
What, niggas?
It's made in Ontario, I think, maybe.
Yo, Block Boys are bad.
Block Boys. These are technically clean, they just look filthy. Yeah, it looks filthy, look filthy. Looks. Take that shit, white boy. Take that shit, white boy.
As a little kid, I was in the kitchen watching work with the flyest shit. I was never on no hurt shit. It was flyest shit. I couldn't fuck with no hurt shit. Heavy in gymnastics, cause I had to make that work with. Touch niggas living me. Fuck niggas kidding me. Break her arm and laugh in your face. Like that's the killing me. Third class surrounding us. You can smell a pound of us. All my niggas came from the bottom. I made the drowning up. Spot him like Ashley in traffic. You couldn't pass me. Made my first rock before take a shot in the grass. That's about the same time.
I used to sleep on our bench on the grassy street. I'd like to order under 6 feet. I just 3 dudes dancing on top of one stop. I don't give a fuck. This is not romper room. We are coming. Doing whatever the fuck we want. Don't fuck. You are nothing but a little pussy boy.
When I pull up on the block, I just know it's G-Lock. You know I send shots. Give me that shit, block. When I pull up at the spot, don't bother cop cops. Cause my niggas reckless, and the bullets won't stop. Yo, I'm a ride on my enemies. Since I go today, I bet my dogs will remember me. Shooting out the centerpiece after this Tennessee. Where the God, you cannot stop my energy. They know me for rolling on them late nights with them youngins trying to get our shit right. Rolling with that sick pipe. Ask SP, you know I got him. It's red lights on a motherfucker when I spot him. And this like you fucking up them commas. Niggas don't want no drama. I'm on the waistline and beating llama. Wait for my mama. Nigga, fuck I think I'm bossy as shit, nigga. Yo, I see what the fuck got. Yo, free out, nigga. One with him. My nigga see me lost in his bitch. Yo, my nigga say food to his bitch. You know his feet locked in his bitch, nigga. His feet got, nigga. That's his shot, nigga. I don't let him fight feet, nigga. Let me know, man. Yo, I gotta stop this, nigga. You know how we do this shit, man. Yeah. Come on.
Kim Jong-un reportedly gravely ill after heart surgery earlier this month.
Instead of gathering at Young Dundas Square to puff puff pass, weed smokers are celebrating this 420 at home.
Alphonso Davies has extended his stay in Germany on a new 2-year extension with Bayern Munich. Sports 15.
Historic day in the energy markets as oil drops well below $0 per barrel. The TSX, though, cranks out a winner. All the crazy details in Business at 26.
Oh, yeah, he explained it already. Oh, it's not really real. It's mathematical art.
Together on the ones. First up, the remote traffic center. We say good evening, Craig Gear.
Hey, good evening, Scott and Caitlin. I'm just in my kitchen in between reports, whipping up some funnel cake.
What are you making me? Oh, you're making me some funnel cake.
Funnel cake.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah. This report is brought to you by your local Ontario Subaru dealers. It's a lot of construction tonight. It's moving well across the GTA on all the major routes. But if you're trying to get onto the westbound 401 from pretty much anywhere, you won't be able to. The Nielsen ramps, the Markham ramps, both of the Allen ramps, the Yorkdale ramps, and the northbound Dufferin ramp onto the westbound 401 all shut down for overnight road work. The Allen ramp, the northbound Allen ramp, is going to be closed for a while. That's a little bit of long-term road work. No ramps are blocked as of yet along the eastbound 401, but we just have a couple lanes here and there, like through Renforth, south of the airport, approaching to 427 and the collectors. They're in the 2 left lanes tonight. Both the major Mac ramps and the Teston ramps onto the northbound 400 are shut down. A couple stretches where you don't have too many
Oh,
lanes
you're
getting
skinning your
by
hair,
the
Matt.
400
I won't
northbound,
fucking hear from
like
you
at
right now.
Major Mackenzie, and then also through just north of King Road there, a little bit of a tight fit. The Finch Ranch to the southbound 400 also closed off. If you're trying to transfer into the collectors on the southbound 427 at Rathburn, you won't be able to here, so just heads up. And the westbound Rathburn ramp to the south 427 is also shut down. Ontario Subaru dealerships are standing by and ready to help with your essential automotive needs. Keep taking care of each other, and Subaru will take care of you. Your next report is at 10:11, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Renza.
Hi. 10:11. How did you know?
Increasing cloud this evening and after midnight, closer to 3-4 in the morning, we'll get into some light rain. It's going to be just a few millimeters worth, tapering off around 7-8 in the morning. We'll see some sun. Temperatures likely peaking before that sun comes up, around 6 degrees, falling to 2, wind chill -4 throughout the afternoon. Gusty winds out of the northwest will drive in on and off lake effect flurries through the day. Tonight we're down to a low of 3 degrees. Right now, downtown Toronto, 4 degrees and overcast. It's +3 and partly cloudy at Pearson. 680 News Time, 10:03.
This weekend's a terrible tragedy in Nova Scotia, making ripples in the GTA. A former Oshawa couple among the more than 18 dead after the shooting spree.
680's Karen Seolan joins us live with more on this story. Karen, Caitlin, two of the victims of the shooting, longtime residents of Oshawa, before retiring and moving to Nova Scotia last year. Officials in Durham region confirmed the deaths of Don and Frank Madsen. Don, a former employee at Hillside Terraces long-term care home. She worked there for decades. Frank said Durham Regional Headquarters have been lowered to honor the innocent lives lost. RCMP have fanned out across 16 crime scenes, searching for a motive. The gunman going on a 12-hour rampage in multiple communities.
You went through 12 hours? Holy
setting fires along the way.
Most of those being residences, and we believe there may be victims still within the remains of those homes.
Chief Superintendent Chris Leather says they haven't been able to fully examine the charred remains. While there was no immediate motive given, police believe this killer acted alone. President Donald Trump and the First Lady releasing a statement offering their condolences to all Canadians and saying the U.S. strongly condemns these murders. Reporting live, I'm Karen Seolan.
Well, I'm American by descent, treaty and agreement,
But the Premier is not going to rush to the restart button anytime soon. 680's Mark Douglas with a reaction from Queen's Park.
We're not out of the woods yet. Far from it.
Premier Doug Ford says based on the new modeling numbers, he has asked his team
US
for a
soldiers are
framework
allowed
for
in
a
certain
gradual and
circumstances
safe
to fire on
reopening
US
of the
citizens,
province.
armed
But
or
he will
not.
not speculate on the
South
timeline.
African and Jamaican and Africa.
I really don't.
Plus, mix back at Scottish.
This could
We got
bite
5
us in
warrior
the backside in about 10 seconds.
Ford says he knows people are getting cabin fever and
I know we
feeling
don't think of
antsy,
the
but
Dutch as
as Minister of
warriors.
Health Christine Elliott puts it,
Germans
while
never
we can't
really
see
took
the
over.
destination,
We sort
we
of
are
let them
not
hang
there
out.
yet.
They
Please
didn't
continue
like
to stay at
us
home.
at all.
Please continue to maintain physical distancing, and please resist the
back,
temptation to break from that advice.
And the Premier says there's no interest in restarting Toronto's economy before the rest of the province. I'm Mark Douglas.
680 News Time, 10:05. Toronto's top doctor says despite some positive signs, we still need to keep physically distancing for a while yet. 680's Cam Doran has the latest from the city.
Dr. Eileen Davila says hospital visits are down and the rate at which COVID-19 is spreading is also slowing, but there is plenty of hard work left.
I do need to stress that the only way we will continue to be successful is if we continue to keep these measures in place for more time.
Not everyone is getting that message. For the second day in a row Sunday, the city turned away nearly 200 cars from Walker's Park. Mayor Doug Ford says the city will only reopen if we work together.
Let's remain positive. Let's combine continued self-discipline with hope. And if we do, the nightmare will come to an end much sooner.
And long-term care homes continue to be hard hit, with 18 deaths now at Meehan Manor in Midtown and 8 new deaths since Friday at Altamont Care in Scarborough.
I'm Cam Doris.
Meantime, the province says an enhanced testing program is on the way for long-term care facilities. Ontario's Chief Medical Officer of Health, Dr. Barbara Yaffe, announcing that the province has completed enhanced testing at several long-term care homes, and this will continue to be ramped up.
Testing every single person in those facilities to see how prevalent is the infection. Are there asymptomatic people or people who have not been picked up as infected who actually have the infection? And this is something we're going to be expanding beyond that.
She described the new strategy as
Are there? They've been saying since January there are.
Tested for the disease.
680 News Time, 10:07. Deputy Premier and Health Minister Christine Elliott says a previous backlog in COVID-19 testing has cleared. She says the rate is currently at about 9,000 a day and moving to 14,000 in the next week or so.
People should not need to be waiting 9 or 10 days anymore. They should be receiving their results within 24 to 48 hours. So I suspect that might be a historical issue because we are up to date in our testing and increasing the number of tests that we're doing every day.
The province reported 606 new cases, the largest single-day increase, 31 new deaths. But despite that, it's just 5.7% higher than the day before, continuing a relatively low growth trend.
680 News Time, 10:08. Big breaking news out of North Korea, where according to an American source, leader Kim Jong-un is reportedly in, quote, grave danger following heart surgery earlier this month. Concern began to grow after Kim was noticeably absent from an annual celebration of his grandfather, the country's founding father, Kim Il-sung's birthday on April 15th. CNN's Jim Shudo tells Chris Cuomo it's difficult to get details out of the famously secretive dictatorship.
Oftentimes when you have information like this about the health...
Maybe that's wrong. Maybe Boris Johnson is alive in this
From a
case.
totalitarian state, there are smoke screens put up.
Maybe I'm right, but I'm wrong.
Play down the seriousness of it. You might put out other potential explanations for what it is, but to the best knowledge of the U.S. at this point is that there was a surgery.
He had a girly boy hookup who lives in Thailand and he got
now his
COVID.
health is in danger.
Reports are Kim had been in ill health in recent months due to his smoking, obesity, and being overworked.
Marijuana's high holiday 420 reduced to an online celebration this year.
If you see your neighbors outside tonight and you hear this sound, don't panic. That's just someone celebrating 420. Normally, crowds would gather at Dundas Square for marijuana appreciation, but it looks like everyone will have to participate from the safety of their own homes this year. Rapper and cannabis advocate Wiz Khalifa took to Instagram Live to virtually pass one around with his mom, of all people.
Hey, fool. I love you, Daddy.
While storefronts remain closed, some OCS licensed locations like Tokyo Smoke and the Honey Pot are offering curbside pickup for all your weed needs.
Smoke weed every day.
I'm Joey Keeney.
Reassurance in anxious times. We're in this together. 680 News.
Hey Toronto, this is Serge Ibaka. You've probably been hearing a lot about staying home recently. But how can you stay home if you don't have one? Fred Victor is helping the homeless during these difficult times, and they need your support now more than ever. Until April 30, the Serge Ibaka Foundation will match every donation up to $100,000. So help the homeless by donating today at fredvictor.org.
Now the 680 News gas price update. and Pro predicting the price of gas will not change at midnight tonight, staying at 82.9 cents a liter.
In times like these, shouldn't your money work even harder for you? We think so. That's why at Duca Credit Union, you get no-fee checking accounts. You also get high interest on deposits and investments, and low mortgage rates. Plus, you get to share in the profits. That's
None
the
of these
Duca
companies
difference.
are prepared.
Find out how to earn
Don't
more
put
on
the
your
phone number on their
savings with
seat. You
great
call the
rates
phone
at
number. They're prepared to
Duca.com.
answer the phone. No.
Do more.
Address is on there. Look at the address on Facebook. What does it say is there? It never matches.
Conditions apply.
Hi, Tom Rokicki here of Inline Fiberglass
It's
Windows
curbside
and Doors.
pickup and all this
I am
shit.
proud
This
to
all
be
new
living
to
and
these
working
fucking
here
people.
in
They
the
didn't want
Greater
nothing
Toronto
to do with
area.
that before.
All of us are so lucky and blessed to be part of this strong community, province, and country. At this time, I feel it is important to remind all our friends, family, and employees to keep an eye on one another, especially the most vulnerable. Let's also come together in support of
There's
the
like 2
heroes
or
on the
3
front
horrible,
lines.
horrible.
Together, we will get through this. Thank you. News time, 10:11, traffic and weather together on the ones first up the Drew Traffic Center. Craig Gear. This
report is brought to you by
The remote traffic center.
And if you're heading out on the westbound 401, so it looks like they're in the process of shutting down the collectors. And it looks like it might be
I
in
can
west
tell
of
from the center. He probably took a piece of Bristol board and cut it in half, duct tape it to the door. Remote traffic center.
Not quite exactly sure where they will let you back into those collector lanes, but you can expect
never
from west of
You're never getting off this highway ever again.
And you won't be able to use the collectors for a while. The last time they did this a couple of weeks ago, it was at the 404 DVP. That's when you could get back in. But tonight, the 404 Express to collector transfer on the westbound 401 is also shut down. So it might be lasting a little past the 404 DVP. We'll definitely let you know. But that's what's going on there. The collector lanes are being shut down on the westbound 401. Anywhere between west of Meadowvale and Nielsen. Eastbound 401, not much going on, just a few lanes here and there, like approaching the 427 in the collectors. 2 left lanes are blocked off. And then from Port Union in the collectors, and it stretches for quite a while, they're also in the 2 left lanes. So a lot of construction work. It's a slower drive in these collector lanes because you don't have much room. The Major Mac and the Teston ramps to the northbound 400 shut down tonight. The Finch ramps to the southbound 400 have been closed. Step 427 Rathburn transfer into the collectors shut down, and the westbound Rathburn ramp to the Step 427, that's closed as well. Plumbing, electrical, furnace, water damage problems in your home, call AGM Renovations for an express service and safeguarded visit. Go to agmbasements.com. Your next report is at 10:21. Here's the forecast with Natasha Ramsahai.
Overnight tonight, a few millimeters of rain as we drop to 3 degrees near midnight and then peak at 6 degrees early in the morning. That temperature will be slowly falling throughout the day. We'll have wind chills in the afternoon near -4. So dress for those colder temperatures if you are an essential worker and have to head out. We will have on and off lake effect flurries thanks to very gusty northwest winds up to about 60 kilometers per hour. Still some lake effect snow Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. Trace to a centimeter or 2, not out of the question for places like Newmarket and Stouffville northwards. Wednesday afternoon will be partly cloudy with a high near 6. Tonight we're down to a low of 3 degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, it is 5 degrees and overcast at Pearson +3 with some clouds. 680 news time, 10:14.
3 bank robberies, 1 grocery store robbery, and 1 suspect. The Toronto Police Hold-Up Squad arresting 35-year-old Jeffrey Blue Cloud of no fixed address.
Blue Cloud!
The bank's hold-up, taking place between April 6th and last Friday. In each case, the suspect claiming to have a gun taking off with
scimitar.
The grocery store hold-up happened this past Saturday, and the suspect was carrying a large knife and pointed it at employees. Police were called to the store and arrested the man. He faces 25 charges, including 2 counts of robbery with a weapon and 4 counts of failing to comply with a probation order.
New Life Fertility Center isn't going anywhere. We are
That I was the only one raising our ruckus, huh?
and not taking on new patients. We're taking extraordinary measures to keep one location open so that we can continue to monitor those already well on their way to starting a family. When Canada is back up and running
I usually don't listen all the way through for this one little story.
There, helping to ease the financial
10 minutes
burden of
after the
IVF
14
treatment.
minutes, you get
Until
one little
then,
story.
New Life
And
wishes
it's
you
fucking
good health.
sports.
Stay safe.
My name is Aaron Waxman, and in times of uncertainty, we can take solace in the thought that those that we care about, our family, our friends, and those in our community are safe and are practicing physical distancing and staying at home. At my firm, I've encouraged staff to work from home and to follow the guidelines to staying safe. I know these are difficult times, but we can take this moment to reflect on how much we have to be grateful for. I wish you and your family only peace and good health.
This is All News Radio, 680 News. We've got an overcast sky in downtown Toronto, currently sitting at 4 degrees. Good evening from the 680 News Broadcast Center. I'm Scott Brett.
And I'm Caitlin Lee. Here are the top stories this hour.
A couple who once called Oshawa home have been identified as 2 of the 18 victims killed this weekend in Nova Scotia. Despite 606 new cases of COVID-19 confirmed today in Ontario, provincial health officials believe the curve is flattening, but Premier Ford warns it's simply a long time before it's business as usual. And North Korean leader Kim Jong-un reportedly in grave danger after having heart surgery earlier this month after being noticeably absent from his grandfather's national birthday celebrations. 680 News Time, 10:16. Now 680 Sports from Sports at 5:90. The fan, let's check in with Mr. Rob Long.
Canada's top soccer star isn't going anywhere anytime soon. Alphonso Davies inking a 2-year extension with with German club Bayern Munich, which takes his contract through the summer of 2025. Meanwhile, reports say the German Bundesliga is hoping to resume action as early as May the 9th behind closed doors. Toronto FC captain Michael Bradley continues to rehab an injured ankle and says he's hoping to be ready if the MLS season returns this year.
Trying to do as much work as I can now, so that, whenever it is that we...
North Korea, it's so simple, to make the whole fucking world back off on this nuclear thing. You don't want me to make nuclear weapons? Fuck you.
Ready to go right away. Bradley against
everybody in North Korea.
The Ottawa Senators have
named Anthony LeBlanc as their new president of business operations. LeBlanc was previously president, co-owner, and alternate governor of the Arizona Coyotes from 2013 to 2017. And the Athletic reports that the Blue Jays have committed to paying their non-playing staff in both the majors and minors their full salaries through May the 31st. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca/590.
Hey,
Government of Canada
you might be looking for something to take your mind off of things. Well, every Sunday we're doing a TV show from my living room where we talk to artists, athletes, frontline workers, and you just about how you're holding up. We're calling it
every back in the package, set it back to the damn factory, eh? It was in this package.
On Sundays, 8
p.m. Still got the 2 green things in the white thing. I didn't separate them yet. My 3 business cards, eh?
We're 2 men and a truck. So, you're moving to a new home, and all that's left to do is to call a mover you know you can trust. Well, naturally, you think 2 men and a truck, since you know they have lots of men and lots of trucks. They'll wrap, pack, and move everything you want. With a 96% referral rating and the professionalism you can trust, the choice
no
is
fucking
simple.
glue on this paper. I'm going to frame this. I'm going to put this in with my sickle cell. Rolling paper with no glue, and a nigger with no paper, no melanin. I don't care if you like the word, I love it.
8 staff and 60 inmates at Brampton Jail have tested positive for COVID-19, the largest outbreak in a provincial correctional institution. The Ontario Correctional Institute is being closed, and all inmates will be transferred to the Toronto South Detention Centre, where they will be kept in a separate area. All staff from OCI are being asked by Peel Public Health to self-isolate for the next 14 days. Employees of the City of Toronto are being given a choice in the midst of this pandemic. Be reassigned to an essential service job or go on unpaid leave. In an email to over 2,000 city employees, City Manager Chris Murphy gave the ultimatum to either go
How do you send an email to 2,000 people?
Mayor Tory made it clear that while going on leave will mean no longer getting paid, city benefits will be retained.
Every effort will be made to accommodate staff who opt in to redeployment but have specific needs. For those who cannot be redeployed, but who have agreed to be redeployed, they too will be placed on leave, but they will get a wage top-up.
The decision by the city comes just days after Mayor John Tory said the pandemic will
there's
cost
more.
Toronto
There's more levels to it.
$1.5 billion.
Not go on leave. You can work whatever job they give you. You can work a job specifically tailored to you.
Home near Leslie and Shepherd around 8 o'clock in the morning on April 14th. Dr. Paul Morgan of Toronto was found dead at the scene. Police arresting a 23-year-old Toronto man earlier today. He's been charged with second-degree murder. Coming up in 60 seconds, traffic and your extended forecast.
Paul.
This is 680 News.
Introducing Irwin's new command lock tape measures, built for extra control of the fingerprint, up to 14-foot reach, and a high-contrast DuPont Mylar film-coated white blade. Plus, it comes in a high-impact resistant case. When every quarter-inch matters, these tapes are designed with your job in mind. New Irwin command lock tapes, built for the trades. Available only at Canadian Tire stores across Canada. Find out more at irwintools.ca. I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat.
I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink.
The Scott Mission has been helping Toronto's hungry and homeless since 1941, and they really need your help, especially during these uncertain times. You can provide a meal for just $4.25 and ensure that everyone who comes to the Scott Mission is warmly welcomed by people who care. Make your gift online today at scottmission.com/hope or call 416-923-2400.
680 News time, 10:21.
Traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Craig Gear.
This report is brought to you by Roto-Rooter Emergency Services.
How many banks did you do, Rob?
Yeah,
and then a grocery store?
Out there. Start on the westbound 401 where we have quite a few ramps that are blocked, and also the collector lanes have been closed for quite a stretch, and it looks like everyone's getting forced into the express on the westbound 401.
Yeah, you were forced into it.
Still talking with the MTO. We're just trying to figure out exactly when you can get back into the
Google help, we can't find the exit.
The 404 DVP combo, that's where I'm seeing both the express and collectors being used along the westbound 401. So quite a few ramps are blocked past this point too. So west of the Allen, some construction work going on there. That's for lane realignment. It's going to be a bit of long-term work.
Don't get on that highway if you're trying to stay within the city.
Ramp onto the westbound 401 collectors. That's going to be in place until November. But just for tonight, overnight, southbound Allen ramp to the westbound 401 shut down as well.
The locals are going to see you. You're going to get caught by a
ramp onto the west 401. That's been shut down. And now the southbound Mississauga Road ramp to the west 401 has been closed, and just a single left lane moving. Westbound 401 through train horn. Eastbound 401 in great shape. Just a couple stretches where we have a bit of construction, as like through
the most
Burnley,
classic car I've seen.
They're working
That's
in
the one that
express
gets
in
my
the 2 left
attention.
lanes. Port Union, they're in the collectors in the 2 left lanes. So if you want a construction-free drive, just alternate yourself through there. Major Mac and the test and ramps to the northbound 400 shut down for maintenance. The Finch ramps to the Step 400 are closed too. Roto-Rooter is fully prepared to continue to serve you in this difficult time. To help with any of your drain, plumbing, or disinfection needs, contact them 24/7 online at rotorooter.com. Your next report is at 10:31, and with the forecast, here's Natasha Renza. Hi.
We got light rain incoming after midnight tonight. It's only a couple of millimeters worth. Could see a thunderstorm or two, though, down around the Niagara Peninsula. And we'll have some sun to start off in the morning. 6 degrees to start, falling to 2, wind chill -4. And with that drop in temperature and gusty northwest winds on and off lake effect, wet flurries will be in place tomorrow. Yeah, we're not done with the flurries just yet. Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, could even see trace to a centimeter of accumulation across the north GTA. Wednesday afternoon is partly cloudy with a high of 6, and we end off the week Thursday and Friday with sunshine, but still below seasonal. 6 degrees Thursday, 9 degrees on Friday. Through the night tonight, we're down to a low of 3 degrees. Right now in downtown Toronto, it is 5 degrees and overcast, +3 at Pearson.
Coming up at 10:30, an Oshawa couple who moved to Nova Scotia among the 18 victims of this weekend's shooting spree in that province, the deadliest mass shooting in our country's history. Meantime, we will bring you all the latest news on COVID-19, as well as some optimism from provincial and municipal officials, as well as word that North Korean leader Kim Jong-un is gravely ill. Details straight ahead.
I don't think it's the biggest mass killer either.
10:24.
Stop the
You gotta pick those words carefully trying to describe these things here.
The time to act is now. Everyone must do their part to stop the spread of COVID-19. Stay at home. Period.
Period. Full stop. A period is a full stop.
That means for groceries, for medications, for medical appointments, or if you provide an essential service.
How the fuck do I know that if I don't know fucking
For
English?
information, visit ontario.ca/coronavirus. Paid for by the Government of Ontario.
You're listening to 680 News.
Aerospace company
I don't remember ever getting any grammar education at all in English because we were in grade 6 and they expected us to just know it already.
Certification. The Montreal-based firm says it is
Five years still doing French grammar. Grade 6, no English grammar.
10,000 of those ventilators.
Why are the black kids in a box outside of the parking lot? What the fuck is this bullshit? The one black teacher, she's out here with us.
For ESPN's Michael Jordan documentary.
No white kids in our class.
And Michael Jordan did
that
win.
class.
The Last Dance, about Jordan's last NBA season with the Chicago Bulls, premiered Sunday night to an average of 6.1 million viewers, with the 2 episodes simulcast on ESPN and ESPN2. ESPN says that's the biggest audience ever for an ESPN documentary. And it caused a lot of chatter on social media as the #1 trending topic on Twitter Sunday, along with the top Google search trend. Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Hollywood. Business news next.
680 News Stop 10:25.
Hi, it's Tony Chapman, host of the podcast Chat If It Matters. Thanks to the incredible support of RBC, we're focusing on the heart of the Canadian economy, small businesses. Paul Ambrose, a partner in healthhubsolutions.ca.
SME, small to medium enterprises, SOE, state-owned enterprises, USCP, Union of Social Canadian Provinces.
To be digitally engaged with patients.
MGO, Ministry of Transportation. I still don't understand that one. Why is the T before the O? Ministry of Transportation. The O stand for something is like Ministry of Transportation, Ontario. Like, you never put the word Ontario after that.
They're fun, awesome, tasty, shareable, delicious, snackable, craveable, dippable, delectable.
This is my license. I want to see the back of it right now.
It's free. Offer a qualifying purchases of $10 before taxes and participating restaurants for a limited time. Not valid for 3 orders. Other terms apply. Richard Senate. Good evening. It was an OMG oil moment today. U.S. crude futures plunged 300%, hitting zero, and then continued to fall. The price closed at negative $37 per barrel. It means producers would literally have to pay someone to take the barrels off their hands. Social distancing lockdowns around the world have slashed demand for oil.
Well, give the proper explanation
here about the May futures price that closed in negative territory. The June,
I guess, an hour and 45 minutes ago, and he hasn't said it again since.
$21 per barrel on the plus
Tomorrow
side,
would be the reverse. It'll be $20 positive.
This underscores
it's a mathematical argument.
facing the energy markets right now.
Explain it
It
correctly.
really just does go to show that there's nowhere to put the current oil. Everyone's been so focused on what's going on in the economy, and this really just highlights that there is really no one driving right now. So the demand for oil is basically gone as low as
Oh, I thought he meant that as a metaphor. There's really nobody driving right now.
It's hard to turn these off. So the people the oil keeps going down the pipeline, and no one knows where to put it. So this current contract is really a bit of a technicality, but it just goes to highlight the stress in the system right now.
Well, even with oil closing in negative territory, the TSX managed to gain. It was up 45 points, 0.3% to 14,405. Gold helped. It was up more than $12 to 1,711 US dollars the ounce. It's also the case that energy stocks have already been badly beaten up. The Dow moved lower, down
Energy stocks are not real companies.
To 23,650. S&P sliding.
You don't buy energy and then hustle it off to you on the street corner. That's not how they're making money.
It was a top line miss for Big Blue, but a bottom line.
They aren't making money. They're collecting all sorts of money. They don't get to keep it.
Canadian dollar down to 70.7 cents US. This is 680 News.
Introducing Irwin's new Command Lock tape measures, built for extra control
Command
with a
Lock.
finger prick, up to 14-foot reach, and a high-contrast DuPont Mylar film-coated white blade. Plus, it comes in a high-impact resistant case. When every quarter-inch matters, these tapes are designed with your job in mind. New Irwin Command Lock tapes, built for the trades. Available only at Canadian Tire stores across Canada. Find a
In my world, a high-impact resistant case is when you hit the fucking crown with a car and they bounce and don't die.
COVID-19 can be deadly. Everyone must act now. We must stop the spread to protect our families, our friends, our neighbors, and especially our most vulnerable. You may be
Let's act now. No, we must stop acting. Stop doing.
Protect others. Stay home. Save lives. Do your part and act now. Visit ontario.ca/coronavirus
Hey,
for more
bonus.
information.
Tomato sauce disappears in orange.
Ontario.
Bonus.
Be the first to know. Breaking news as soon as it happens. 680 News.
Downtown Toronto right now, an overcast sky
Back
at
up soon.
5
99
degrees.
cents,
This is
motherfucker.
CFTR 680 News at 10:30.
99 cents, motherfucker.
#1 for news in Toronto.
They are labeled for individual sale. They got the best before date and everything.
And Caitlin Lee. Good evening. It's Monday, April the 20th.
The only problem I have
News right now.
is a soap company, Unilever.
Were victims of one of Canada's worst massacres. RCMP say
Bubbles.
it's still to be determined just how many people were killed.
Calling it good news. Toronto's top doctor says physical distancing is working, but we must continue to protect our city's most vulnerable.
North Korea's leader unwell. A source telling CNN Kim Jong-un is in grave danger following surgery.
Donald Trump announcing via Twitter he plans to temporarily suspend immigration to the U.S. in light of COVID-19. We'll have the details on Alfonso Davis.
Did he not already do that like 6 times? Like I don't.
Oil collapse. Texas Tea closes at.
Shouldn't he have done that in December if you wanted it to work?
Don't expect the price of gas.
Immigrating from where? Which cut? Like, what do you mean?
Positive business 56.
Immigration is just coming here. You mean set like getting a green card? You don't let them get green cards. They're gonna come anyway. And then later they'll be like, "Well, I couldn't get a green card. What was I supposed to do?"
Quite a bit of construction on
the more of these motherfuckers are as bad as Trudeau. They're bad at this game,
in the process right now of shutting down those collector lanes. It looks like you're going to get forced into the express at Nielsen. And a lot of work.
We will not get off the highway again within the city of Toronto.
So we do see
by the time you see a regular street again, you're going to be roaming on your cell phone.
Nielsen. So a lot of ramps are blocked here because of it. So you won't be able to get onto the westbound 401 tonight from Morningside, Nielsen, Markham. It looks like it's going to go until the 404 DVP combination, and then you'll be able to use both the express and collectors after that point. That's what it looks like. We'll know in a few more minutes.
Oh, yeah, my hair's not this long on
and the southbound Allen ramps to the west 401 shut down.
It's literally irritating my
Dufferin ramps
my
are now
hair.
closed.
My own hair irritates my
to the west 401, that's been shut down as well. We don't have any ramp closures on the eastbound 401, just a couple lanes.
You don't know racial self-hatred.
Good news. That's so far anyway.
I don't have myself on my body.
The testing ramps to the northbound 400 shut down for maintenance. They're now closing the westbound Major Mac ramp to the southbound 400, and also the Finch ramps onto the highway have been shut down. South 427 transferred to the collectors at Rathburn, that's been closed tonight, and the westbound Rathburn ramp to the South 427 also shut down. 407 ATR thanks you for continuing to follow social distancing rules. Together we can beat the COVID-19 virus. 407ATR.com. Your next report is at 10:41. Here's the forecast with Natasha Ramsey.
COVID has already won.
Temperatures dropping to 3 degrees near midnight.
COVID proved it could win.
Rain will start.
You would drop with COVID right now. COVID's saying, fuck it.
Temperatures
I'm going to run all the way
6
through, see what
degrees
happens.
and then falling to 2, wind chill -4. We'll have on and off flurries coming in off of Georgian Bay and Lake Huron. Lake effect flurries thanks to a gusty northwest wind. Tonight we're down to a low of 3 degrees.
Downtown Toronto right now, overcast and 5. 6:80 news time, 10:33.
We're learning a former Oshawa couple is among the dead in a shooting spree in northern Nova Scotia over the weekend. At least 18 people were murdered. The gunman was also killed.
680's Karen Seelman joining us live with the very latest on this tragedy. Karen.
Scott, 2 of the victims of the shooting were longtime residents of Oshawa before retiring and moving to Nova Scotia last year. Officials in Durham region confirming the deaths of Don and Frank Matson. Don, a former employee at Hillside Terraces long-term care home.
How are you calling them murdered?
Flags at Durham Regional Headquarters have been lowered to honor the innocent lives lost. RCMP fanning out across 16 crime scenes, searching for a motive. The gunman going on a 12-hour rampage in multiple communities, shooting people in their homes and setting fires along the way.
Most of those being residences, and we believe that
did he videotape this shit?
Within the remains of those homes.
Chief Superintendent Chris Leather says they haven't been able to fully examine the charred remains.
Fully. They love that word fully.
Police believe the killer acted alone. President
Donald Trump
and the First Lady releasing a statement offering their condolences to all Canadians and saying the U.S. strongly condemns these murders. Reporting live, I'm Karen Seolin.
Many families in mourning tonight, TV on San City News.
Not like the last 6 black guys that got killed in downtown Toronto. These murders,
Jolene Oliver, Emily Tuck, and Aaron Tuck were found dead in their home yesterday.
We called all day yesterday trying to reach out to her to see if she was okay. And we checked with police and stuff. They wouldn't give us any information until after supper last night.
I don't know what happened to
It was the sad reality for so many families, friends, and community members last night who now have to cope with losing a loved one, a grief complicated by a global pandemic. Among the dead, 2 healthcare workers. Heather O'Brien was a licensed practical nurse, wife, mother, and grandmother. Kristen Beaton was a continuing care assistant and a young wife and mother. Their employer describes them as caring and compassionate members of the team, writing all our frontline care providers are heroes. Yesterday, 2 of those heroes were taken from their families. We mourn their loss. For City News, I'm Tina's Jenny.
And it's a nation in mourning following Canada's largest mass shooting.
Do you want to know why you don't have to put that word on there?
Will be lit in blue and white tonight in memory of those who lost their lives.
I'm going to show you.
Kepitan News Radio 680 is at 10:35. Encouraging numbers from Ontario.
The guys working the machine don't even have to check.
COVID-19 cases have peaked, and the curve is beginning to flatten. So when can we loosen protective measures and restart the economy? Well,
never.
Let's take a look.
The economy is never coming back again. Ever. Ever. It's gone.
COVID-19 could come back.
Wake up Florida, went to old age home with a condo residence or something. Fucking died.
People get anxious and rambunctious, but what, over waiting a few more weeks? I'd rather wait and be, and be safe.
Minister of Health Christine Elliott agrees, saying Ontarians must remain vigilant.
We are in the midst of a journey. And while we now have our destination in sight, we haven't yet arrived.
You don't know who the fuck
No amount of easing up or taking shortcuts is going to get us there faster.
Ford says when the Ontario economy does restart, it will be done in stages, perhaps 2 weeks at a time, and the economic needs of Toronto will not be prioritized over the rest of the province. I'm Mark Douglas.
Toronto's Chief Medical Officer of Health says all our physical distancing efforts are starting to pay off, but more needs to be done in long-term care homes.
The work is far from done, but Dr. Eileen DeVilla says hospital visits are down and signs of community spread have started to peak.
The COVID-19
because everybody's going to kill is dead.
Which captures the number of days for our
That's
case
not the
counts
same
to
thing
double,
as winning,
has slowed over the
We've
past
lost
2
as
weeks.
far as we can lose.
This is good news.
But it is expected to get worse before it gets better in long-term
almost as
care
good as
homes like
winning.
Altamont and Scarborough, where another 8 deaths have been reported since Friday. Mayor John Tory says help is on the way for our most vulnerable communities.
Close to 500 staff have already been redeployed into roles
Somebody
in our
tested
long-term
positive
care
for COVID in
homes.
the building.
Our shelters and helping, for example, to answer the phone,
The body
to
check
answer
was in
emails
the
at
other
the
day,
311 call
straight to
center.
the funeral home.
Plans to
It's
reopen
all
the city
person.
will only
COVID.
start once the situation is
the body truck
completely
belongs to
under
the funeral
control.
home.
I'm Ken Dorr.
It's
680
old
News
age
Time,
COVID.
10:37.
Breaking news out of North
In this
Korea, the
province.
country's leader Kim Jong-un reportedly in grave danger.
These junkies don't get
surgery
funeral
that
homes.
American sources say did not go well. He was last seen in
it's
public
very
April 11th, did not
harsh
make an appearance on
reality,
April 15th at a national holiday in North Korea celebrating the birth of his grandfather.
celebrate
Kim Il-sung.
April
CNN's
6th,
Jim
you
Shooter
dumb
telling Chris
cocksucker.
Cuomo it's not believed to be related to
415's
COVID-19.
fucking
I have not, it has not been described to me as a COVID issue. There's another, Reuters has been reporting, citing North Korean exiles, speculation about this being overwork, the fact that he smokes, etc.
Stay with 680 News
He's
for more
got
on this
COVID.
developing story.
And we have more breaking news from the U.S.
6 months from now, you're going to see COVID, Jim Deal, or whatever, running the country.
To temporarily suspend immigration into the country. He tweets the decision comes, quote, in light of the attack from the invisible enemy, as well as the need to protect the jobs
Not
of our
invisible.
great American citizens. It was not
Spit,
immediately
you
clear,
white people
or
spit out all
immediately
the
clear
time when
rather,
you're talking.
where or how the order would be carried out.
Do to us all the time, but you don't do
Says
to
it
each other all
plans
the
on
time.
ramping up testing with enhanced measures for
We see
long-term
it.
care
We
facilities.
comment on it.
Ontario's Associate
Why
Chief
we comment
Medical
on it? We
Officer
didn't want you
Health,
coming out and saying, oh, we
Dr.
discovered
says
we're doing
results
something.
of the
We've been
enhanced
telling you
testing
for years.
suggest the program should be more widely applied.
In addition, we have been now expanding to do what we're calling more active surveillance. And over the weekend or the last few days,
Contact
testing
tracing.
about 21 long-term care
How'd you go right
facilities,
now, man?
testing every single
Contact tracing,
person
dog.
in those facilities.
It is hoped that enhanced testing could provide new insights about the prevalence of the disease and the role asymptomatic carriers of the virus.
This is Gardening Week on
they're
680
spreading
News, brought to you by lessmess.ca.
On
Here's
purpose.
680's gardening specialist Mark Cullen.
The perfect time to get outside. Today, I'm cutting down the perennials that I left standing over winter to allow them
There
to
is
grow
nobody
and push
immune to
through.
this shit.
Ornamental grasses need
There is no
shearing to the
immunity to
ground
this
or just
shit.
a few centimeters.
If you were
But
exposed to it,
hydrangea
you don't
should,
have
as last
symptoms.
season's
You're
flowers cut off.
asymptomatic.
Old-fashioned
Period.
Annabelle hydrangea should be cut down to about 30 centimeters.
That's the
Roses
duck.
should be cut back to 30 centimeters. And organic fertilizer applied to all perennial plants. Turn your compost
No,
or
you don't.
add finished compost to your garden and enjoy the experience. I'm Mark Cullen with the Green File for 680 News during Gardening Week.
You cleaned out the closet, reorganized the basement, and feng shui your living room. Now it's time to get outside and tackle the garden. During this time, it's time to get the soil and resources you need. So lessmess.ca has made it easier and safer to get topsoil, mulch, compost, sand, and stone delivered to your home with the Less Mess Enviro Bag. Not only do you get nutrient-rich soil in a sealed Less Mess Enviro Bag, but lessmess.ca offers quick, no-contact delivery to keep you feeling safe and secure.
You offer no-contact delivery?
Into your garden. Under 680
His hair is so fine,
the price will not change even
but it's sharp on both goddamn sides.
Northwood Mortgage people work harder to find solutions just for you. One example, Northwood regularly helps families get into new homes after the bank has turned them down.
Oh my god, these hairs are driving me up the fucking wall. Oh, now I started music.
Of a lunatic, the mind of a native who ain't giving up, a native who don't give a fuck, a native with the screw, but they the fucking screw up. I have a few screws, and most people don't. I'm a crazy little bastard, full-blown criminal, savage through and through. For my warrior, I have known the game that I was shown. I keep to my own. I got a ill temper in a very short fuse. The patience that I got, you don't want me to lose. I'm known to blow up. I'm known for destruction. I'm known for the wicked. The wicked from the blood in my veins to the ways I'll never change. I'm slowly going insane. She keeps fucking with my brain. I'm lost in the sauce, can't find my way out. I'm from a small town and we don't fuck around. You can hate all you want, shit ain't gonna stop me. I'm stomp up and down the block and keep on romping. I'm romping and rolling and romping. This hype boy hustle shit ain't nobody stopping. The mind of a killer, the mind of a maniac, the mind of a lunatic, the mind of a native who ain't giving up, a native who don't give a fuck, a native with the screws, but they the fucking screw. I got the mind of a killer, the mind of a maniac, the mind of a lunatic, the mind of a native who ain't giving up, a native who don't give a fuck, a native with the screws, but they the fucking screw.
Xavier.
I handle all of y'all problems, I will down now. Top now with Gucci, Polo, movie, low with your hoe like Polo. She go low, Running around in the six, nigga. Running around slanging bricks, nigga. Fitting shit, thinking that a nigga could be slanging scripts. Trying to get the 6 figures, the 6 nigga. Once I get a little bigger, I'ma hit the strip, nigga. Got 100 grams of rubber bands, I bag it up and go and hit the strip, nigga.
Come wide.
Yeah, you already know what it is, man. It's your homie AP about paper, D Block, BDS, Cinco. You already know what it is. Right now I'm rocking out.
I need your help, nigga. Sit your little bitch ass down, nigga. What is this?
You can't spell ball without the AR. Vote me for mayor. Taking helicopters down with a little laser. Hand the cannon, I'm holding bigger than fucking mega. Yaga, the liquor for the shots to make you stagger. For my little brother, it's like he loves my partners. Real bright boy, born baby, got lots. With this empire, it's nothing like rocks. These are enemy lines, nobody can cross it. I just left the rappers and in the battle with four clips, triple tits. 4 clips like a bitch's wake fiction. Murder gang sick shit. Got me reading the words as of my victim lip sync. Get your sick murders. Niggas know I'm running through the streets of beats like the hamburger with the burner. No food surfing. Yeah, still M3G reppin'. Man, sitting in the vehicle. Plotting on people. Taking your birth's possession like a reaper. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot. I'm at the bar ordering a Heineken. Waiting for the scene to fall back. I was timing it. Fronting them a couple said they'll check me round 9 and 10. MGK a wild boy. Nigga, we some wild men. Put together life again. Rifles like the Irishman. Used to call me Ben Trent, but Charlie was a rider man. Niggas try to end me for the money, call a fireman. I put my fucking flame up. Go ahead and try it then. By all means, do you. I'm creeping through the field, shot the Zulu. Cruising in the Subaru. Murder gang crew, bunch dogs and give up bobos. You lose. Tell you what kind of like 2 shoes. Listen, Junior is easy to hire shooters to whack you. Right now, I'd rather snap out. Don't even attempt, I won't doubt. Really, I don't have to. Slap the kid so hard, I put a wonder, call him Matthew. Subliminal. Murder gang squad, in effect, I set it up to win no box. You block to follow my dialect. My number, you ain't dial yet. That judge ain't fire yet. By the end of this chapter, motherfucker buying it. That bitch shows hinges and a couple 45s in it. Catch a couple pieces, but I'll beat him if I'm hiding it. In the L spot, nigga, known for the kill shot. Cause I'm the nigga that shot Jack and chill out the hilltop. So, Lil Red Rider Hood was Rider Hood. The song blew her up now. She ain't riding through the hood. And Woody Woodpecker was a fag while Batman got shots and panties up for his pants. Spidey was a swinger. Wolverine is a nigga that's obvious that I ain't got a notion that's a splinter. Well, I'm master cheddar in my mouth. My dick roll blast for cheddar. Trying to look at is better. Yeah, I'm sitting in the vehicle. Plotting on people. Taking your private possession like a reaper. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot.
holes in my legs. The holes. The fucking holes in my legs. The holes should be my fucking chin for the hairs to come out. Motherfucking horse. I hate you fucking people. The holes should be. Really? Once I open my mouth, I'm just gonna breathe, eh? That is the opposite of any camera I ever heard of in my fucking life, eh? The holes should not be in my legs, it should be in my chin, the hairs can come out.
Shot, real life nightmare. And the S I make niggas cry gangsta tears. No alcohol, no beer. Like Freddy, I'll kill you in your nightmares. Where the cash at? Where the stash at? Fuck around, we gon' find where the girl's at. She's in the strip on the floor like the doormat. Rick and Rick from the sky, cause you know you whack. Cool dogs, that's what you thinking of a rap. This ain't fake shit, you thinking of a rap. 1 crib, 2 crips, 3 crips, 4. Cool dog, nigga, 6 bloods on the floor. 1 crips, 2 crips, 3 crips, 4. Cool dog, nigga, 6 bloods on the floor. Booyah! 1 knock, 2 knock, 3 knock, 4. No upstairs, so I'm coming in, 2. 1 knock, 2 knock, 3 knock, 4. Coming in.
So how they get fucking in with 2 different gangs that supposedly hate each other that don't hate each other is very fucking simple because they both invited me twice. Invited me twice. It's 4 times total. It's very simple because I told them the same thing all 4 times was I cannot get involved between the 2 of you fighting with each other, and otherwise I'm down. And I never did get involved between the 2 of them fighting with each other, so there was some niggas in red.
Coming in, no matter what, better win or better go. Yes, picking on the light for the dough. That's a show, cause we know what you got on the stove, on the table, and your money's in the box. So I'm picking on the light, coming through the door, blasting. Shoot, no move, nothing to ask. One bad move, then you get your ass kicked. Yo, I'm not in the mood, so repeat gas. You see the eyes of the roof, and I hope you see it. Cold those around, so your ass is frozen. Roof, motherfucker, now you about to get defeated. My bad, you the one who chose it. I know we ain't able to give no options. Not more made, but a man on a mission. It's not a good dream or a bad situation. More like a nightmare, you are the victim. 1 knock, 2 knock, 3 knock, 4. No upstairs, so I'm coming in, 2. 1 knock, 2 knock, 3 knock, 4. I hope you see it, so I'm coming in, 2. 1 knock, 2 knock, 3 knock, 4. No upstairs, so I'm coming in,